Before I get into my Survivor Series 2020 preview and predictions video, just want to announce to all of my YouTube exclusive viewers and all that, on Sunday or this weekend, I don't know exactly when, but this weekend sometime, I'm going to post What If the Elitist booked WrestleMania 37. This thing is going to be a colossal video. I've had help on the graphics from KO Fan and the Elite HD, so yeah, I'm going to throw the links in the description. They've made some incredible graphics for this thing. It's going to be a massive video, perhaps my biggest since What If the Elitist took over WWE, which many of you found my channel because of. So yeah, that video is going to be colossal. Can't wait to put it together. That WrestleMania 37 card I've booked is something to behold. So yeah, you guys will see that on the weekend, hopefully. But yeah, without further ado, Survivor Series 2020 is this Sunday night, or if you live in Australia, midday Monday. The show itself should be a good show on the night. It's one of these, Survivor Series shows where, you just take it for the card on paper, and it'll probably be, a pretty good show because of, the wrestling. But as far as, in the grand scheme of things, what this show is really going to do, long-term WWE storylines, it's probably going to have, little to no impact at all. Because I look at the match card for this Survivor Series, the Team Raw and Team SmackDown Survivor Series men's and women's elimination matches, just based off what I'm seeing on paper as far as who's in the teams, neither of them look really like they're going to do anything long-term. Granted, they could do something in the men's one, maybe something with Jey Uso, or I guess that's about it really, because Jey Uso is the only guy in that match I really care to see. And then the women's one, I just flat out couldn't care less. Then for the champion versus champion matches, for starters, the Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn one, I don't really care. I'm excited to see Lashley. I think Sami Zayn is working well as well, so they're going to have a fun, entertaining match. Sami Zayn's doing really well at the moment, so is Lashley, so I should enjoy that match. New Day versus Street Profits. I'm interested to see what they do with that. Apparently, it's the first time they've actually had a match against each other, so in that regard, I'm interested just because of that. Asuka and Sasha Banks, we saw it a few times back in July. I remember Extreme Rules, they had a match. They had a few matches around that time, but nevertheless, should be an interesting match there. And then the main event, the match which I and most of you are most looking forward to on this show, the match that is carrying this pay-per-view's interest on its back, Drew McIntyre, the WWE Champion, versus Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion. That match could main event a WrestleMania. That match is huge, so I'm really looking forward to it. And as I said just then, that match right there, McIntyre versus Reigns, is carrying the interest of this show alongside this 30 years of Undertaker thing they're doing. They're doing an Undertaker farewell, 30 years of Undertaker type thing, which, someone's going to interrupt that. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Sting? Is it going to be Bray Wyatt, The Fiend? I mean, it waits to be seen. I've got some things to say about that in my WrestleMania 37 card video, which is coming out in a few days or a week. I can't wait to show you guys that. So yeah, I've got something to say about The Undertaker and that, but for now, this show, Survivor Series 2020, looks alright. I mean, McIntyre versus Reigns is the thing I'm most looking forward to, and the rest of these matches, I guess they'll be entertaining to watch to an extent, but really that's about it. So yeah, let's just get into the preview and predictions. I'm going to start this with the match you care about probably least, the Team Raw women's elimination match. So Team Raw, as of right now, is Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Lana, Lacey Evans, and Peyton Royce, against Team SmackDown, who, as of the making of this video, only have 3 members announced. They've got Bianca Belair, Ruby Riott, and Liv Morgan, and 2 members are to be determined. So this match, I could not give a flying stuff who wins this match. I do not care. I just do not care. I'm going to predict Team Raw with Nia Jax, Shayna, Lana, Lacey, and Peyton Royce win this match, but at the same time, I don't know all 5 members of Team SmackDown yet, so potentially, I don't know, Team SmackDown gets, who knows, Bayley and Bianca Belair. Oh, sorry, Bianca's already on the team. What am I saying? Potentially, Team SmackDown gets Bayley and Charlotte, a returning Charlotte Flair. You never know. If that's the case, and they get, Charlotte or some big, new, fresh name for SmackDown, in that case, SmackDown will easily win. But looking at the 2 teams on paper now, I am leaning towards Raw, but at the same time, Bianca Belair's on Team SmackDown, and the logical thing to do is having Bianca Belair be the sole survivor. Yeah, actually, nah. Yeah, I'm predicting Team SmackDown will win the Women's Survivor Series elimination match. Bianca Belair to be the sole survivor. That's all that really matters, to be honest. Making Bianca Belair look really good in this match. Expect her to have like 3 or 4 eliminations. One of these, like Roman Reigns 2013, Diesel 1994 type performances from Bianca Belair. That's what I expect. She did it in the Rumble match. She's probably going to do it again here. So, yeah, that's the Women's Survivor Series match. As for the men's one, Team Raw, AJ Styles, Keith Lee, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Riddle versus Team SmackDown, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Seth Rollins, and a member that's to be determined. That's probably going to be Lars Sullivan, I'd expect. I mean, I'm filming this before SmackDown, obviously, so we don't know who that 5th member is. I'd expect Lars Sullivan, based off what they've been doing on TV, so yeah, I guess that's going to be amazing. Look, this is one of these matches where I feel like Team Raw, I don't know who's going to win. I quite frankly don't care. This match is just pretty much irrelevant. All I want to see from this match, and all you should be looking out to see, is what they do with Jey Uso. Whether Roman Reigns backstage like yells at Jey Uso prior to the match, saying that, you know, if you lose this match, you're laying down our bloodline, you're laying down our family. And then if Jey Uso gets eliminated, like what Roman Reigns does to respond to that. That's pretty much all I care to see, because Roman Reigns and Jey Uso in the bloodline is captivating. The rest of this I couldn't care less about. Team Raw, like on this past week's episode of Raw, Team Raw, when they lost to Retribution and were having that full-blown argument for like 5 minutes, and it was just Sheamus screaming at Keith Lee, Sheamus yelling at Braun Strowman, AJ Styles yelling, Styles' bodyguard just standing there. It looked ridiculous. It looked ridiculous. You got these 5 men just arguing for literally no reason. There's like no reason for them to be arguing. Who cares? Like what are they even arguing about? Oh, their status on Team Raw? Their power and status? Like, no one cares. This match means nothing. So, yeah, I'm going to predict Team Raw get the win here. I think they'll overcome their chemistry issues. I'm thinking Jey Uso will have a dominant showing, and the rest of the guys, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, that's that match. Then, as for the champion versus champion matches, next up, I'm going to go Bobby Lashley, the United States champion, versus Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental champion. That match should be good. I think both guys can put on a real good match. Bobby Lashley has done some phenomenal work since joining the Hurt Business as MVP. Sami Zayn has been doing his own thing for the past few months, the IC title. Zayn, as Bonafide Heat said this in his video, but I fully agree. Sami Zayn, I no longer see as one of these, like, indie work rate type wrestlers. Like, he's changed his style completely. Back in 2014, 2015, that's Sami Zayn, who came out doing his ska dancing, and he was doing his let's go, that version of Sami Zayn, the indie midget, the work rate just wrestler, that guy, the one who the Smarks absolutely adored, that guy, that Sami Zayn is pretty much dead and gone. The Sami Zayn nowadays is completely different. He doesn't wrestle to put on great matches, which I can commend. He cuts entertaining promos, he plays his role as a heel really well, and he has actually good psychology. For example, the Clash of Champions ladder match, brilliant psychology, actual logic, thinking, something entertaining. So, Sami Zayn I'm a fan of. This match should be quite good. I'm going to predict Bobby Lashley defeats Sami Zayn. I just feel like it's Bobby Lashley. Sami Zayn shouldn't be winning. But on that same note, I expect either Lashley will just beat Sami Zayn, or Sami Zayn will do some 1,000 IQ play and beat Lashley and outsmart him. That's what I think Sami Zayn's going to do. So yeah, I'm going to predict Sami Zayn outsmarts Lashley and beats him. So that's that match. As for the New Day and the Street Profits, this match, just like the rest of them, could go either way. It doesn't really mean a lot who wins, because it's the New Day and the Street Profits. Like, at the end of the day, both teams are going to be fine. They're literally the 2 only teams in WWE outside of like the Lucha House Party, the Hurt Business with Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, and that's like it. So it doesn't really matter who wins this match. It's going to be a fun match either way. Street Profits, New Day. Both teams wrestle similar styles. I think Angelo Dawkins is going to perform well in this match. Just be a powerhouse, be a beast. Montez Ford, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. I think they're going to do some. They're going to have great chemistry. I feel like they're going to have like a really good tag team match. In the end, I feel as though the New Day will get the win, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's the tag team title match. Then the Raw vs SmackDown Women's Championship match, Asuka vs Sasha Banks. It's a tough one, you know. I mean, Asuka doesn't really have much momentum at the moment, really. Like, Asuka, there's no real women for her to feud with on Raw. So I feel like it's just a safe thing to do to have her win. You can have like Bianca Belair maybe, or have Carmella cost Sasha Banks this match. I feel like that's the safe way of doing this. Carmella costs Sasha Banks this match, Asuka beats her, and then Sasha Banks goes off to feud with Carmella for like 2 pay-per-views. That's like the logical thing. That's the thing that makes sense. Asuka can go on her merry way, feuding with the random women on Raw like Lana and Nia Jax and Peyton Royce and all these women. So yeah, I feel like that's the route they're going to go. Sasha Banks is going to get a loss because of Carmella. So that's that match. Then there's the 30 years of The Undertaker, the final farewell of the dead man. This will not be the final farewell. I can spoil you on that one now. As far as what they actually do, I don't know. They're probably going to have maybe Kane out there, Foley out there. I don't know what they're going to do for this. It's probably going to be some really overbearing, over-the-top celebration of Undertaker for like 20 minutes. Probably some long, drawn-out segment. Then someone's musical hit or the Fiend's theme will come over the PA and the Fiend will attack Undertaker, something like that. That's what I see happening. I think the Fiend will attack the Undertaker. That's what I think they're going to do. I don't think Sting's going to show up here. If he does, I'd like that, but I just don't feel like this is a real Sting thing. I feel like the Fiend is like destined for an appearance here, so yeah, hopefully Bray Wyatt makes an appearance and ambushes the Undertaker, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, that's that. Then the main event, Drew McIntyre, the WWE Champion, versus Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion. This match, boy oh boy, this match, my god. Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. This is the match I've been asking for, or like one of them for a long time now. This version of Drew McIntyre, this babyface, gladiator, valiant, just destructive babyface against Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the leader of the Samoan bloodline. This Roman Reigns, phenomenal. I can't wait for the match. It's going to be brilliant. I think down the line, perhaps WrestleMania like 38, 39, these guys will have like this big, face-off match. I feel like Reigns versus McIntyre. Once again, Bonafide Heat said this. This is the Rock and Austin. This is the Cena and the Orton of this generation. Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, both two guys who really epitomize pro wrestling, especially nowadays, in a pro wrestling where it's been very emasculated pro wrestling, and a very emasculated pro wrestling. These two guys, live and personify what pro wrestling was made great upon. So in that regard, these guys are just phenomenal. McIntyre, Reigns, the match should be fantastic. I'm going to predict Roman Reigns gets the win here. I just think it makes too much sense. Drew McIntyre, he can lose this match because, I don't know, either The Miz gets involved, Randy Orton gets involved, I don't know, Bray Wyatt can get involved, Sheamus can get involved. McIntyre can lose this match a number of different ways. Reigns, he doesn't really have that out. Like, if Reigns loses the match clean to McIntyre, where does that leave Roman Reigns? Reigns has too much momentum. McIntyre can afford to lose this based off like a distraction from like Sheamus or The Miz or something. So, hopefully no one looks weak from this. I don't think they will. Will The Miz cash in? That's the other thing I've been hearing about. Hopefully, in my opinion, I hope The Miz doesn't cash in. Just because I think The Miz as world champion would be ridiculous. Like, I get there's this groundswell from wrestling Twitter, and there's this groundswell from the YWC that, oh my god, The Miz deserves to be pushed because he had great matches with Ziggler in 2016 for the IC title. Oh my god, The Miz has worked hard. He should be pushed. Like, this whole what culture logic. The Miz shouldn't be world champion when you have someone like Drew McIntyre on your show. I'm sorry. Drew McIntyre or Miz. Like, I know people would say Miz. If Miz became world champion, I wouldn't be like that against it. I wouldn't pretend to boycott and fake outrage, but it'd just be a bit disappointing because it's The Miz. I don't care about The Miz. He's The Miz. Okay, he's The Miz. So, yeah, that's Survivor Series 2020. Hopefully, you enjoyed the preview and predictions video. I had a bit of fun talking about this show. I'm going to try and get out of here before 15 minutes. So, yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, sub, you know the drill. See ya.